Hello. Welcome to the lesson focusing on coterminal angles. You guys are going to learn how to identify these angles given an angle in standard position. Now, a coterminal angle is defined as having the same initial side and the same terminal side, but different amount of rotations. So in other words, remember that a complete rotation is 360 degrees. So any angles that has a difference of 360 are considered coterminal angles, meaning that if you were to rotate them on a graph, they will look like the same angle measurement visualized. They just have different rotations. So an example would be 50 degrees and 410 degrees. They are both coterminal angles because they are a difference of 360. So let's just dive right into a couple examples. So we'll start with one at a time. We have 587 degrees. And directions it says, given the angles, identify the least positive coterminal angle. When you see those words, that means you are to find the angle that is between 0 and 360. So 587 is clearly more than 360, so we want to subtract 360 from it. So subtract 360 from it, and we end up with 227, which is in the third quadrant. So we know that we are on the right track, is between 0 and 360. It's a good habit to know which quadrant the angles are in. So that's the coterminal angle. Negative 192, however, is less than 0, so therefore we want to add 360 on top of it, and therefore we get our final answer of 168 degrees. Now, 1000 is clearly way beyond 360, so we're going to have to subtract 360 multiple times until we get to an answer that's between 0 and 360. So we only have to do it twice. If we do it twice, that means we had to do 2 complete rotations to get to 280 degrees. As for negative 689, that is way below, so we got to add 360, and this one we have to add it twice until we got to 31 degrees, which is in the first quadrant. 168 is clear. Going back to the second example, that's in the second quadrant. The 280 is in the fourth quadrant, and then 31 degrees is in the first quadrant. As for the last one, 1101, we subtract 360 over and over again until we get to somewhere between 0 and 360. We had to subtract it 3 times, which is 3 complete rotations, and the final answer is 21 degrees. There you go. That's all there is to it. So if it's greater than 360, we subtract 360 until we get to our range. And if it's less than 0, you have to add 360 in order to get to the proper range. So go ahead and take this time to take these examples and go ahead and practice on your own. When you're ready to check your work with mine, go ahead and resume the video. So pause here and resume. So here's the work to all that. So notice that it's very similar to the examples that we just did together. But as long as you understand that even if the numbers are different, the process is still the same. Add 360 or subtract 360 until you get to the range that you were expected to find, the coterminal angle. And that's all there is to it, ladies and gentlemen, for the coterminal angles lesson.